What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, Olympic bronze medalist, former WBC American Heavyweight World Champion, superstar boxer, Deontay, the Bronze Bomber Wilder, who is 43 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, 42 big wins by way of knockout, 37 years of age, 6'7" with an 83-inch arm reach, looks to be making his ring return August or September. But it's looking like late August, early September, Deontay Wilder is going to grace the square circle once again. The last time we saw him in action was October 15th of 2022 when he brutally knocked out Robert Helenius in the first round of their fight. With that said, Deontay Wilder is set to make his ring return and is going to have 2 more fights this year. Against his first fight will be August, like I said, late August, early September, against former unified heavyweight world champion, Mexican superstar boxer, Andy the Destroyer Ruiz Jr., who is 35 wins, 2 losses, no draw, 22 wins by way of knockout, 33 years of age, 6'2" with a 74-inch arm reach. With that said, Deontay Wilder is 5 inches taller, and he has a 9-inch arm reach advantage over Andy Ruiz Jr. Now, Andy Ruiz, he was last in action September of 2022, a month before Deontay Wilder, September 4th of 2022, when he took on Luis King Kong Ortiz. He dropped him a few times in the fight and won a unanimous decision. Epic showdown between Luis Ortiz and Andy the Destroyer Ruiz. So, with that said, they've both been inactive. They both, by the time they fight, will be going on nearly a year since they graced the square circle. If they fight in September, it will be a year for Andy Ruiz, and it would be 11 months for Deontay Wilder. Now, it's already being reported that Deontay Wilder victorious, he'll face off against Olympic gold medalist, 2-time unified heavyweight world champion, British superstar boxer, Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua is 25 wins, 3 losses, no draw, 22 wins by way of knockout. He is 33 years of age, 6'6" with an 82-inch arm reach. In December, now Anthony Joshua was last in the ring April of this year when he took on Jermaine Franklin and he won a unanimous decision. Prior to that, Anthony Joshua fought once in 2020, once in 2021, once in 2022. Okay, he fought Kubrat Pulev. December 2020, he fought Oleksandr Usyk. September 2021, then he fought Oleksandr Usyk again in July of 2022, and he lost both those fights to Oleksandr Usyk. So he hasn't been the most active fighter as of late either. Okay, and he didn't look that great against Jermaine Franklin, but he's with well-renowned 2-time trainer of the year, future Hall of Famer, in Derrick James. And Derrick James said that he followed the game plan as he set forth, and that, he did what he asked him to do, and you'll see a better version of Anthony Joshua. That was a fight that they had to get used to and adjusted to being with one another, hearing each other's voice in the corner and being in a live fight. And now moving forward, you'll see a better version of Anthony Joshua. So there's reports now that August 12th, Anthony Joshua could be back in the ring, and he could face a foe that he's very familiar with in British heavyweight superstar title contender, Dillian the Body Snatcher White, who is 29 wins, 3 losses, no draw, 19 wins by way of knockout. He is 36 years of age, 6'4" with a 78-inch arm reach. Now, Dillian White and Anthony Joshua, they're very, very familiar with one another. They fought in the amateurs. Dillian White knocked out Anthony Joshua in the amateurs. Now they fought in the pros December of 2015. That was 8 years ago. And Anthony Joshua, he knocked Dillian White out in the 7th round of that fight. And now Dillian White, he came back. He beat Jermaine Franklin as well. Majority decision. That was November of 2022. And many people thought Jermaine Franklin should have gotten a nod. It was a close fight. Prior to that, he had been brutally knocked out in the 6th round by Tyson Fury, right? His first and only title opportunity, and he was brutally knocked out in the 6th round by Tyson Fury. That was April of 2022. So he came back in November, and he fought Jermaine Franklin, got back in the win column, but he hasn't fought since then. So there's reports that Dillian White could be the next opponent for for Anthony Joshua. But they're saying that Dillian White is pricing himself out. They've been having negotiations for a rematch with Dillian White and Anthony Joshua for quite some time. And, it seems that he keeps pricing himself out. He's looking for big money for the rematch, and they don't want to give it to him. And now there's talks that we can have American heavyweight star title contender Jarrell Big Baby Miller, who is 26 wins, no losses, 1 draw, 22 wins by way of knockout. He is 34 years of age, 6'4" with a 78-inch arm reach. He's coming off of a few wins since being suspended. Now, keep in mind, back in 2018, 2019, he was going into a massive fight with Anthony Joshua June 1st in New York, 2019. And he blew it. He tested positive for a banned substance. He was suspended. Andy Ruiz Jr. replaced him. Andy Ruiz knocked out Anthony Joshua in the 7th round, dropped him 4 times, and got a 7th round stoppage victory. So with that said, Anthony Joshua and Jarrell Miller have been going back and forth. Since then, he's gotten a few wins under his belt, came back, made his ring return. He fought twice in 2022. He was suspended from 2018, November 2018, up until June of 2022. He hadn't fought for 4 years. He came back. He fought Bracamonte. He won a 10-round decision. He came back. He fought Derek Cardenas. He won a 4-round knockout victory. And most recently, March of this year, he fought Lucas Brown, and he won a 6-round knockout victory over Lucas Brown. And now we're hearing rumbles that they could possibly look at Jarrell Miller as a possible replacement. But the problem with putting Jarrell Miller in this position is that they don't trust that he will, make it to the finish line. They don't believe that Jarrell Big Baby Miller would make it to the finish line because they're nervous. Rightfully so. This is not the first time or the second time, right? Jarrell Miller has popped twice and been removed from fights. And so that's a huge risk that you're running, having Jarrell Miller on these cards. Now, I would love to see Jarrell Big Baby Miller get his opportunity for these fights. But again, like I said, you're running a huge risk putting Jarrell Big Baby Miller in this position in a big fight. And then he, something happens. Unfortunately, hopefully not, but something happens and then he can't, make the fight. And now you have to find late replacements and things of that nature. And it's just simply, something that promoters and managers and teams and networks just don't want to do. It's just a chance they don't want to take. And so with that said, we have to see who Anthony Joshua opponent will be for August 12th. But nonetheless, it looks like he's definitely going to fight August 12th, and Deontay Wilder is going to fight sometime in August or September, putting them on course should they be victorious in their next fights. Now, obviously, Andy Ruiz is the best opponent that any one of these guys is being named. He's the best opponent outside of the champions, Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder themselves. Andy Ruiz is the best opponent that can be chosen. So Deontay Wilder is fighting the best opponent available. Doesn't matter who Anthony Joshua chooses. But if Deontay Wilder is successful, I expect him to be. Anthony Joshua successful. I think Anthony Joshua will beat Jarrell Big Baby Miller. I think he would beat Dillian White in a rematch. But nonetheless, they both successful. It looks like there's an agreement in place. Saudi Arabia has an agreement in place already to have Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua face one another. Now, they want the main event to be Alexander Usyk, Tyson Fury for Undisputed. We don't know what's going to be next for Tyson Fury, but it looks like Alexander Usyk in August is going to fight, September, August is possibly going to fight Daniel Dubois. So we just don't know what's going to be next for Tyson Fury, but he'll fight around that time as well. And then we'll get an all heavyweight, massive, mega, super card history has ever seen in the sport of boxing in December. So this is great news. I know many people are not excited about it, but they will be once it starts to get the ball rolling, because as the heavyweight division goes, so goes the sport of boxing. So with that said, this is huge news and everybody should be excited, because this is straight up and down the best year in boxing. If we get these fights, Deontay Wilder, Andy Ruiz, Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder. Anthony Joshua rematching Dillian White or fighting Jarrell Miller. Tyson Fury, don't know who he's fighting next, but then fighting Alexander Usyk. That's huge. And then Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder to cap off the year, the biggest fight in boxing history. This is the biggest year in boxing history. And that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, get all the information. Peace.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV. Wow.